What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So, I just want to touch on this topic for a brief moment. So, Viola Davis, who has been, very outspoken about pay equality in Hollywood, especially amongst um, um, female actors or actresses. And, she recently had made a statement, and just want to talk about her statement and what she had to say. So, Viola Davis. She said the following: I want and expect to get the same filet mignon that white actresses get. This is sort of like a metaphor. Cooked at the same temperature. You cannot throw me a bone with a really nice little piece of meat on it still and expect that it's good enough for me. So she is letting, Hollywood know, the white folks know, Jewish folks know in Hollywood that she is not going to just be accepting anything as a black actress. And a lot of times I think that when it comes to black people in general, especially black women, people do kind of expect you just to take whatever is offered to you and to be thankful for it and to not demand or ask for more. All right. And this sort of makes me think of, say, the actress and comedian Monique. And, she has also been advocating for, equal pay in Hollywood as well. I do think that Viola Davis, you know, I don't think Viola Davis is blackballed, but I do think that Monique at this point, yeah, she's blackballed, definitely. Unfortunately. And the blackball doesn't seem like it's going to be ending soon. Monique very much, you know, she's has the same story that she's had for years, and that's good. But at this point now, she is pretty much telling the same story, seemingly in pretty much a lot of her interviews, if not all of her interviews. Um, and just recently, she did an interview with her and her husband did an interview with Claudia Jordan on her show, and I'm like, we like I get it. I do believe Monique. Um, but I'm like, we've been talking about this for years, though. Like, what else is new? What's coming up next for your projects? Things like that. Or even just new developments in her ongoing feud or whatever you want to call it with, the lot. Lee Daniel, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry. And I guess Lionsgate we can throw into. Because, and again, it's still about Precious. And Precious, that movie is over 10 years old. Right? But let me get back to Viola Davis. Um, so, Viola Davis, she was advocating for equal pay. She seems to be going about it in more of a, quote unquote, respectable way versus like Monique. So I think that may work in her favor. Respectability politics can work sometimes, She goes on to say, I love my collard greens and all that. And I know we're given the leftovers. I know how to cook that, but I want filet mignon, she continued. The difference in pay and the lack of access to opportunities are huge, she told the outlet. I fully expect changes. I'm trying to lift my hopes up, even if it takes a little bit of vodka. And people say, you're a black Meryl Streep. We love you. There is no one like you. Okay. Then if there's no one like me, you think that you pay me what I'm worth. And I'm guessing Viola Davis, obviously she is not completely satisfied with the pay and the opportunities when it comes to, um, I guess, actresses in general, but especially black actresses. I have heard, I've heard it said that pretty much all the black actresses in Hollywood have auditioned against each other at one point or another, just because of the lack of opportunity. It's just that small of a pool for black women. Like, the opportunities just aren't there. So the black actresses who are in Hollywood, they pretty much have, crossed paths with each other, you know, and have auditioned against each other at one point or another. That's what I've heard. And, you know, she goes on to say, if we don't move forward together, then we don't move forward, she says. And I think for Viola Davis, I don't think she's asking for a lot, but I just think that ultimately it's just a reflection of society as a whole, where, black women are undervalued and devalued. Unfortunately, that's sadly nothing new, both in and outside of the community. Sadly, that's not anything new. Um, hopefully, Viola Davis can, get more pay, as well as other black female actresses. The thing is, though, I think Viola Davis is coming at this from like, oh, women in general, like all women are, all actresses, which I can understand her coming at it from that point of view, because she is in Hollywood and she doesn't want to kind of like burn any bridges or look like she is being, maybe bigoted, for lack of a better word, or maybe I say bigoted. Um, and doesn't want to come off as if she's completely just self-serving, right? Um, but where are the other white female actresses, talking about pay? I haven't seen them. I'm sure they're out there, but I just haven't seen them. Um, and when it comes to pay in Hollywood, I heard that a lot of the female actors, they sort of like they're a bit hush on their pay, right? They tend to not talk about how much they are paid. And part of the reason could be just because, one, pay is private, but also because they may not want people to know that they're not getting paid what you may think they're getting paid, out of an ego sort of a thing. Um, she actually speaks about this, and she says, listen, it's only until you reach a certain point and maybe you have a certain level of expectation that you realize that you are not like everyone else. In Hollywood, actresses don't share their salary with each other while they're sitting around drinking a glass of wine. A huge part of that, I'll say, is ego. Ego because you don't want people to know that you make less than what they think you make. And Viola is advocating for solidarity with everyone. Solidarity with Caucasian women and women of color. Women of color, right? The differences in pay and lack of access to opportunities are huge. I fully expect changes. I'm trying to lift my hopes up. Um, Viola Davis, she's not going to be so much like pro-black, fight the power, because, she still's got to, work in Hollywood, and she still want to work in Hollywood. She don't want to end up like Monique. You don't want to end up like, having put in so much work over the years just to have it all fall to the wayside. No shade to Monique. I hope things work out for Monique as well. She said, Monique, they said her lawsuit is going forward with Netflix. So we'll see how that turns out. For some reason, I feel like it may have gone forward because it kind of maybe came about during that whole George Floyd phase, where like everyone was talking about, being against racism, but I think you know, that phase has gone and passed now. So I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm feeling like, you know, nah, I'll just keep it to myself. um, but, you know, that's all I got to say for the moment. You know, hopefully Viola Davis and Monique and the rest of the sisters in Hollywood can get some, you know, better, you know, more opportunities and higher pay, as well as, you know, black men too. You know, but especially black women, because I think, you know, black women, you know, they get it the hardest. You know, but unfortunately, that's not anything new either. But I'll bring this video to a close. Thanks for watching, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.